Hi, I'm Ethan, Product Marketing Manager for Deel HR. Let's talk about getting your year-end planning out of spreadsheets and into Deel. Before Deel, I helped HR teams build and implement compensation strategies and run compensation reviews. And that's only one piece of the puzzle for end-of-year planning. I know how complicated but crucial this work is, and I'm excited to show you today how we're making it easier. From building headcount plans, getting approvals, or implementing compensation guardrails before a cycle, we're bringing it together in one place. Your team can move faster, stay aligned, and enter January with confidence. We're focused on 4 updates to help you plan smarter and more cost effectively. We're unveiling enhanced performance review calibration, plus 3 new features: planning cycles, scenario calculator, and integrated compensation bands. Let's dive in. Deel Engage, our talent management suite, helps you run performance reviews, learning programs, and career development initiatives. It gives HR teams the tools they need to drive growth, consistency, and fairness across the worker lifecycle. A critical part of performance review cycles is calibration. Without an effective process, compensation decisions that come from those performance reviews and even headcount planning can fall short. That's why the Deel Engage team has upgraded the calibration experience during performance reviews by improving filtering and adding tagging to the calibration heat map for easier collaboration. Plus, we have even more planned for Q4. Use these upgrades to start year-end planning with a strong performance review cycle with standards that are applied consistently and collaboratively. Moving into headcount planning, I imagine many of you can relate to this. 5 different versions of the same headcount spreadsheet, all going around, and each one marked final. Or maybe weeks spent nudging managers to update their hiring plans only to discover they're all using their own templates. I've been there before. With the new planning cycles feature, it all moves into one clean workflow. You set the timeline, invite the right people, and everyone works from the same numbers. The result is faster planning, fewer delays, and getting your HR and finance teams starting January fully aligned. But aligning people is just one part of planning. Your next challenge is running the numbers and seeing what will actually work. That's where our new scenario calculator changes the game. What if your CTO actually gets to double their forward deployed engineers? What if we had contractors instead of EORs? For most companies, these questions mean more spreadsheets and back and forth questions with finance. With Scenario Calculator, get answers instantly. Try out different headcount changes, see the costs in real time, and turn scenarios into job requests with one click. Get planning answers in minutes, not weeks. Walk into those budget conversations confident with numbers in hand. Of course, running the numbers only works if everyone's using the same pay ranges, which is where integrated compensation bands come in, giving HR, finance, and managers one single source of truth. It means pay decisions are fair, explainable, and cost efficient, with accurate headcount costs when headcount planning. Now, bringing it all together, here's how it looks in Deel. From performance reviews to planning cycles to compensation, all in one smooth workflow. Let's pretend I'm a people ops manager. I start by running a performance review cycle in Deel Engage to gather calibrated performance scores for each worker. And as a bonus, you can also set up learning and development courses for your team so they can hit the ground running with personal development based on reviewed feedback right in the new year. Once I've got those performance scores and compensation, I make sure I have bands defined for all of the job profiles in my job architecture. When it's time to plan headcount, I create a new planning cycle in workforce planning, invite planners to request, and lock the cycle once they're finished. I then use the scenario calculator to refine the plan and make sure we're in budget before closing the cycle. At the same time, I create a compensation cycle with raises automatically inputted based on compensation bands in Deel Engage's performance scores to get ready for the January comp cycle. All managers will need to do when they return from the holidays is press accept. Result, we enter January with an accurate headcount plan and a chaos-free compensation cycle ready to go. Now, understandably, this sounds like a pretty idyllic planning process. Anyone who's worked in HR or finance knows it rarely happens perfectly, but that's exactly why it's important to us that you're able to connect all of your information together for faster, more accurate planning that flows right into payroll. To access these 3 new features and update, you'll need Deel Engage, compensation, and workforce planning. If you already have them, talk to your customer success manager and they'll help you get them set up. And if you're interested in adding them, just scan the QR code on your screen and one of our HR experts will walk you through it.